your CV needs to be industry specific. So if you're applying to a modeling agency, your CV is likely going to have a headshot of yourself. You might have a picture on your CV. If you're going into sort of media and something a little more creative, you might have a pop of color. You might sometimes have some infographics to show that you're able to use certain softwares. But whereas if you're going into something very formal like law or accounting or a very formal kind of corporate space, your CV is going to look a little less colorful and sort of more straightforward. Okay. And it's important to then research the company as well as that company culture so you know what your CV needs to look like when you're sending it to that specific company. Because if it's a more fun, loving company that you can see the company culture is a lot more relaxed, you don't want to kind of send a very sort of uptight CV. It sort of gives the impression that maybe that's the kind of personal identity or professional identity that you have, which might not fit well to the company culture. Super important when tailoring your CV, read the job description carefully. Use words from their company profile, from how they describe their company culture. Use similar words or the same words, just don't copy and paste the whole sentence in describing the skills that you have in applying for this job. Also, you want to be able to choose around whether you want a functional CV, a chronological CV, or a combination of both. And typically, I think for this kind of sort of application where you don't necessarily have the experience, you want to actually go for more of a functional CV, where you're actually highlighting skills, you're highlighting experiences, not necessarily chronological, where you're going in terms of these are all the work experiences I've had in date order, right? So functional is something you might want to consider for this specific type of CV. And always remember it needs to be neat, easy to read, concise, and relevant to the job as well as true. So we don't want to have any sort of false information going around.